Guided by history, changing our future. Welcome and great morning, everyone. And thank you for coming out this beautiful day to celebrate the groundbreaking of our Crispus Attucks History and Culture Center. Thank you. We have some elected officials and their staff in the audience today, so we would ask them to please stand and be recognized. Thank you all for coming today. We have some excellent presentations today that will share some updates on the new center. To tell you how we got where we are today, it is my honor to present to you the man with the vision for this new center and our CEO of Crispus Attucks York, Mr. Bobby Simpson.
It took me 2 weeks to get this speech ready, so good morning again, and thank everyone for coming. As most of you know, I came to Crispus Attucks over 40 years ago, and we faced at that time some serious problems. With the support of so many people, we pulled things together and worked hard to make this organization what it is today. Those of you who remember Ray Crenshaw, Dan Elby, and I, we decided that we needed to preserve the history of Crispus Attucks and to share with the future generations to help them understand the struggles that this organization went through. We wanted them to know that if you believe in what you do, worked hard, and continue to move forward, even in the face of adversity, all things are possible. To preserve our history, it has always been my dream to build a history and culture center. About 3 years ago, I met with our architect, Frank Dittenhafer, to come up with a design for the building. We presented our plan for this new center to the board of directors and the community at our March annual meeting. There was at that time a lot of community support, but also some skepticism that we could take on such a large undertaking. But we did what we always do. We assembled a great team, we developed a plan, and we got to work. The past 2.5 years, we had some busy time, both success and some setbacks. But with the support of so many people, we continue. With the help of my cousin, Governor Tom Wolf. Everyone don't know. Come on, give it to him, give it to him. And my good friend Kevin. Stand up, Kevin. We were able to secure a RACRI grant. Hold on. In the amount of $6 million because of Tom Wolf and Kevin, so thank you. We had a building design that won a state award for our architect, Frank. Where you at, Frank? Stand up. Even before the building was built, with the help of our community leaders, our business community, and many of our partners. You know, I'm gonna get off script just a little bit. You know, oftentimes we get a bad rap, the city of York, and it's always through the lens of someone else telling our story. But people don't realize the goodness and the strength in our community. And this center that we're building is gonna tell the true story about York. Did we have some bad times? Of course we did. But look at the turn, look at the circle we made with good people and what can happen. So on behalf of Crispus Attucks, thank you, our community. Give your community a big hand. We had a capital campaign. Again, we went to the community at large, the business community. And we raised $7 million from the community, the business community. Give them a round of applause. So today we celebrate the next step in this journey to prepare to break ground for this new center. It took a lot of people to get this to where we are today. Let me take a moment to thank my family, Linda, my daughter. Stand up, you two. Our board of directors, where you at? Stand up. And raise your hand. Yes, yes, yes. And members of our capital campaign team, raise your hand. Our staff, will you raise? Our staff, CA staff. So again, because of the dedication, we're able to build this culture center. So today, again, I'd like to thank our community, the York community, for making this possible. Thank you very much.
Thank you again, Robert, for your commitment, not only to this piece here, but to your 40 years at Crispus Attucks, ensuring that our children had a real chance to grow here in this community. Well, good morning, and welcome to the next chapter in the wonderful history of the Crispus Attucks Association in York minority community. Over 30 years before Dr. Martin Luther King dreamed about using the content of one's character as the measure of a man, two giants of York's African American history dreamed about and endeavored to build an organization which would be based on character building. In studying these two men, Dr. George Bowles and Reverend Thomas Montu, in their work with organizations such as the Community House for Colored People and other civic activities, I believe they were not only concerned with the character of the individual citizens of this community, but the overall community itself. For you see, communities as well as individuals have their own identities and characters. Dr. Bowles and was also the organizer of another auspicious organization called Omega Psi Phi, Kappa Omega chapter in Harrisburg. And their standards is manhood, scholarship, perseverance, and uplift. And you can see that throughout this organization and other organizations that they touch. Thus, the overriding mission of the Crispus Attucks Association at its inception was to impact in a positive manner the character of York's black community. The association and its leadership crafted programs and activities that have molded and guided many generations of York's black community, preparing them to move into the mainstream of society on a fully productive and integrated basis. And this continues to be a primary objective. CA sports teams garnered a lot of publicity and attention. They often served as a draw or a hook to attract our youth to the many educational and personal development activities presented. Programs such as Scouting, the Raha Men's Club, the Mary Bethune Girls Club, the Thespian Society, Teen Town, the Crispus Attucks Literary Society, and others too numerous to mention, were just a few of the activities designed to enrich our children on an educational and spiritual basis. Of course, who could forget the early education programs run by Ms. Helen Thaxton, another giant of York's black history, a program which has evolved into one of the finest preschool programs in the area today. Just look across the street to see what that has become. This project will take community education to another level. History and culture centers have the power to create unity on a social and personal level. They are able to provide a sense of community and harmony by celebrating a collective heritage, offering a great way to get to know and appreciate the history of particular people and areas. History, culture, and tradition help a community to pass down and reinforce values such as freedom, faith, integrity, good education, personal responsibility, and a strong work ethic. And personally, I believe that one of the reasons we have some dysfunction in our community now is I believe our young folks have been disconnected from those values and those histories. It's never too late to go back and grab that. There's a saying called Sankofa, which means to go back and grab what you forgot or what you're not using and all like that. So you use that from your people. This new History and Culture Center would be a crowning event and a dream that has been almost 100 years in the making. Dr. Bowles and Reverend Monteith was back in 1931 when they formed the first Crispus Attucks and all. What we have here and what our predecessors have built and what Mr. Simpson has carried on is nothing short of a testament to excellence. I am sure Dr. Bowles, Reverend Monteith, and the many others who came before us will be pleased and proud of what their dream has become. Thank God and thank you so very much for your continuous support, because this dream could not have become a reality without you. Thank you very much. All right, next.
Good morning. Good morning. I am Elder Judy Ritter Dixon and a member of the Crispus Attucks Board of Directors. I grew up in York City, and I was a 1957 graduate of the most prestigious daycare in York City. The Crispus Attucks Daycare Program, where Miss Helen Thaxton was the lead, my teacher. Crispus Attucks was the hub for education, recreation, and preparation for higher learning. The most that I remember is we didn't have vans back then. Our parents would walk us to the middle of Penn Park, and Miss Thaxton would walk to Penn Park and pick us up. And one day my mom forgot to come get me, and I was so upset. So a year later, my mom and dad bought a house right on Duke Street, which was now around the corner from CA. We were taught to be respectful and kind to others. We were instilled with dignity and pride. And all of the students that attended CA daycare are now doctors, lawyers, teachers, educators. They made it. Crispus Attucks has been a blessing to our community, to the Black families with small children that needed a safe place to learn and grow. We didn't have access to so many things, but Crispus Attucks made it for us to be able to get all of these things, like our piano lessons, tap dancing, sewing, cooking, which I didn't get to that class. Girl Scouts, and camping at the Camp Echo Trail. All of you that went to CA, you remember they took us to Camp Echo Trail. I couldn't figure it out, but they took us up there anyway. Crispus Attucks will always be a stepping stone for our community and encourage our children to higher education. And this new building that's going to be built will maintain and continue to be an example of the cultural education that that existed in our community, and what it will continue to encourage and teach our children what it is all about. If you can't tell it, let us tell it, and we will tell you exactly what happened. And we thank Mr. Simpson for getting this together for the community so that we can tell our story. Thank you.
It's okay. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Can you hear me? Yes. All right. It's okay. I'm short, so I got to make sure this works. My name is Dr. Washington, and I am a CA kid. Yes. But I want as many. So if you are a CA kid, Youth Build, Early Learning Center, we called it daycare back in the 70s. Freedom Summer School, I need you to stand up or raise your hand. I see Kyle. Stand up or raise your hand. So good. Some of our fondest memories of our childhood were made here at Crispus Attucks. We call it CA. And just like in church, when you have a call and response, we say CA, and most of the time you would say all day. See that? Well, hold on one more time. CA. All day. That's what it's about. So, because here is where we wanted to stay. All day. We were raised with some of the best values. Education. We had some of the best educators. I just about cried today when I saw Mr. Woodjar. He was one of my teachers. We had Mr. Washington, Miss Martino. She's going to keep my stories sacred until she goes, right? Miss Orr, Miss Smith. We just had a plethora of educators who poured into us. Not just educators. If you were a part of Crispus Attucks in the old building, everyone knows about Miss Maud and how she snuck you some food. And Miss Dorsey. We had great meals here at CA. We had culture. I remember the first time we had vans and buses. I remember the first time we went on a field trip. Miss Martino took us to see the cows at Turkey Hill. Now I'm from the city, so we saw cows. There was a brown cow, and I was like, why is that cow brown? Is that where the chocolate milk comes from? She said, that's just why we're on this field trip. I was like, okay. They gave us discipline. And when I mean discipline, we learned how to box. If you were a CA kid, you know how to swim because you had to swim the length of that pool. We learned field hockey. We learned volleyball. CA gave me my foundation for learning how to run track, where I later on earned a track scholarship to Towson State University. So I'm forever indebted to Crispus Attucks. And we had community service. One of the biggest lessons we learned, and you can ask any Crispus Attucks scholar, we learned the importance of giving back. We learned the importance of it's not just our race, it's all of our races. We hold a responsibility to reach back and bring someone with us. That's what it means to be a CA kid. So on today, Mr. Simpson, for you to do this is what we've always dreamed about. To put this museum in our community is just thank you. There are many days, many of us wandered around the halls at the old CA, if Miss Martino couldn't find me, and I would look at the pictures of our history of the former directors. And I would look at the artwork. I remember Mr. Simpson telling me, these artists are from York. They painted these pictures. Mr. Manning. It's just our history was rich and embedded. So today, we thank you. We encourage all of you, once the museum is erected, to come and learn more about us and see why our hearts will always be with CA all day.
Good morning. Buenos dias. I am Delma Rivera Lytle and serve as Vice President of Latinos Unidos of York. What an honor, and I'm quite humbled to have been invited today for the Crispus Attucks History and Cultural Center groundbreaking ceremony. Representing the Latino community of York, we recognize the collaboration and connection of the Black and Brown communities in York. The Spanish American Center actually had their humble beginnings with meetings that were held here at Crispus Attucks. When my parents, Dr. and Mrs. Edwin Rivera, founded the Spanish American Center, they saw the importance of our two communities working together. It is fitting that the new CA History and Culture Center will be incorporating our Latino history as well. I was thrilled when Bobby and Jim McClure first met with me to discuss this collaboration. I fondly remember, as Sherry said, about the pool. During my summer breaks, I worked with our York City African American and Latino youth teaching swimming lessons at the Crispus Attucks pool. And I remember them saying, Miss Delma, take me to the deep, take me to the deep. I say, unless you know how to swim the whole length of the pool, you're staying in the shallow end. Many of our present Latino leaders have had many wonderful memories and experiences at Crispus Attucks in their youth. We have our Latino legacy history and stories to share, and it will be an important part of this History and Culture Center. Our Latino community is a vital and integral part of York's history. In Pennsylvania, we are actually 1 million strong, and our numbers in York continue increasing every year. We have been trailblazers in our community, influencing everything from politics, business, art, music, sports, medicine, religion, and education. You see our influence everywhere. We have community members from Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, Mexico, and all countries representing Central and South America. We, the Latino community, will be here to support Crispus Attucks History and Culture Center in memorializing our history and contributions. Often we speak of the mosaic of our community. We are an important piece of this fabric of York's history. Thank you to the Crispus Attucks board and staff for including the York Latino community in this project. Thank you for recognizing that our history belongs in this important History and Culture Center. Latinos Unidos of York and other Latino organizations look forward to working with you as this center moves forward. Congratulations and felicidades.
Wow, so many memories. Thank you all. This is excellent information about our past and heritage. We do have a few elected officials and dignitaries that would like to say a few words today. First, we have Ms. Jada Richardson, Program Manager of DCED and Mayor Helfrich's administration, and the Honorable Pennsylvania State Representative Carol Hill Evans, and the Deputy Secretary for Pennsylvania Community Affairs and Development, Richard, and I'm not going to mess up your name, Vilelo. I hope I got it right. And we have Jada first. Thank you.
I don't want to break everything now. Okay. Can y'all hear me? Okay, because I'll break it. Okay. All right. Is that better? Yeah. Perfect. Oh, you can hear me now? Okay. All right. Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Jada Richardson, and today I'm here representing the City of York. Mayor Helfrich is currently homesick and sends his regrets for missing this monumental celebration. Instead, he asked me to stand in his place and share the following message. Today, the 15th of November 2023, marks a momentous occasion that calls for celebration. The significance of this day lies in the remarkable contributions of African Americans in the Crispus Attucks Center in shaping not only the York community, but our nation as a whole. As we gather here, it is imperative to acknowledge the profound impact of their tireless efforts on our shared history. In the minds of many, the contributions of African Americans have often been overlooked or undervalued. Today, we stand on the cusp of a transformative initiative that seeks to rectify this oversight, the groundbreaking of the Crispus Attucks History and Culture Center. This center, more than just a physical space, is a beacon that will illuminate the untold stories and unrecognized contributions that have enriched our history. The Crispus Attucks History and Culture Center will serve as a platform for open dialogues, fostering an environment where we can delve into the depths of our shared past. It is a place where history is not merely preserved, but actively celebrated, providing us with an opportunity to uncover some of those hidden contributions that may have eluded us until now. This center is not just about looking back. It is about embracing our past to chart a more enlightened and inclusive future. In the spirit of this occasion, let us embrace the Crispus Attucks History and Culture Center as a symbol of our collective journey, a place where history and future converge. Together, let us celebrate the rich tapestry of our shared heritage and look forward to a future illuminated by the lessons of our past. Thank you.
my granddaughter.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Oh, come on. Good morning, everyone. Yes, that one. So I do want to just very quickly, I want to acknowledge all the students, the CA students that are here. You're looking at CA as we were at your age. And CA kids do great, great things. As a CA kid, a lifelong resident, and now on behalf of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, I want to welcome everyone to this historic event today as we celebrate the groundbreaking ceremony of our History and Culture Center. What an honor to be part of such an emotional and it's about damn time event. What a blessing. I know you go from damn to blessing, right? It goes without saying that this day would not have come to fruition if not for the hard work, endless hours, and true dedication of each and every one of us here today. Benjamin Franklin once said, "Words such as improvement, achievement, and success have no meaning without continual growth and progress." The progress of this project has been long and tedious. Just ask Mr. Simpson, who has had this vision way back when he was sporting a 7-inch afro. This vision, when complete, will be part of his amazing legacy, and many of us will be included as we take our rightful places within the annals of history and on the walls of this amazing culture center. I am so proud and incredibly humbled to be in a position to help secure financial support from the state for what has been accomplished so far and what is about to be completed. The Crispus Attucks History and Culture Center will be a tremendous addition to this city and to our community. And I'll close with this very short story. An industrious young man was in line for a promotion at his job. Upper management had noticed his faithfulness and his abilities. However, he was surrounded by unbelievers, including his immediate supervisor, who often ridiculed him and tried to make things difficult for him because of his beliefs. When the time came for the young man's performance review, a manager's meeting was held. His immediate supervisor had planned to block the promotion, but every time the supervisor opened his mouth to say something negative, something positive came out. After the meeting was over, the supervisor said in amazement to all of his little cohorts, "I don't know what happened in there. Everything I tried to say negatively, they took positively. He got the promotion." What's the point? The point is this: when God ordains blessings, blessings shall come in spite of obstacles. What a wonderful blessing this building already is against any and all obstacles. Thank you, and now let's start digging.
Good morning. My name is Rick Valello. I'm Deputy Secretary of Community Affairs and Development at DCD. I can say, because Governor Wolf hired me on behalf of Governor Wolf, Governor Shapiro, Secretary Siger, it really is an honor to be here today. But my relationship with York goes way back with Mayor Brenner, Mayor Bracy, and I was mayor of Lock Haven, so mayors can be competitive. And I'd hear York this and York that and York this and blah, blah, blah. And it would drive me crazy because, you know, it's about people. And, you know, it's all of you being here today is significant. It's about the little ones to my right that we can hear talking. And, you know, when I do things like this with the Neighborhood Assistance Program and the contribution of others, you know, I think about the future. You know, we're celebrating history, we're going to learn from history, but it's about the future. And one of the things that I always think about is what are our grandmothers saying? You know, the moms that are dropping kids off here, what are they telling their little ones? Are they telling their little ones they have to get out to be successful? Are they telling their little ones, you need to go somewhere else after graduation? When they're walking their kids here, what are they seeing on the street? Are they finding needles? Are they finding blighted properties? Are they finding, challenges that we have to fix? Or is grandma telling their grandkids, or their kids, you have to move back. If you move back, I could pick up the kids after school. I could watch the kids when you have date night. If you move back, we could go to church together. That's the conversation that we have to be having in all of our core communities around Pennsylvania. It's, grandmoms pay attention. They know what's going on. They know what needs fixed for those little kids. When we look at our history, I'm sure someplace in New York, there's a good old boy table. And at the good old boy table, they're saying we have to go back to the 1970s, 1960s. Back in the day, we were this. What is York going to look like in 2030, in 2040, in 2050, when those kids are raising their grandkids? History is important. We need to learn from it. We have to have a vision for the future, and we need to, day by day, make progress. It's an honor for me to be Deputy Secretary of Community Affairs because I get to work with all of you to accomplish your vision on what York should look like in the future. And I want to know how many people here prayed for good weather today. Raise your hand if you prayed for good weather today. All of you are really good at praying. So I want you to pray for all of our success in the future. Thank you for, letting me be part of this. I want to continue to partner with all of you to make a difference. And let's get, to the groundbreaking.
Good morning. I learned something here this morning, and so I thought maybe we ought to start with a little test. Okay, everybody ready? Yep. CA. All right, good. Now for my prepared remarks. Many of you have been working on this project for years. We've been privileged to be involved in the Cultural Center for the last 16 months. As the builders, we've come to realize that there are three things that make this project a special one. First and foremost, the use of the building. York is blessed with many museums, but none really tell the story of the African American and Latino communities and the important role that they have played in our history. The Cultural Center will. Second, the building itself is very unique and one we'll all be proud of. Not only will it be the first multi-story mass timber building in the city, but if you've seen the renderings here, I'm sure that you'll agree that the award-winning creativity of the design is unmatched. The Murphy and Dittenhafer team has truly captured the spirit of the community in the design of the Cultural Center, and I think you've heard a lot of that spirit here this morning. Finally, as with so many things in life, it all comes down to people. On this project, I feel that the folks from Crispus Attucks, Murphy and Dittenhafer, and Stewart and Tate have coalesced into one unified team with the goal of making the Cultural Center a real showpiece in our community. We are very thankful for both the trust you have placed in us as your builder and the opportunity to play a part in turning this wonderful vision into reality. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Frank Dittenhafer, the architect
Murphy and Dittenhafer for the project. I received a phone call from Bobby Simpson on January 15th, 2021. And Bobby said he wanted me to design a new building for Crispus Attucks. And I said, well, that would be great. And I said, I'll design a really great new building for you. And he said, well, that's why I'm calling you. So here we are. But this, as it's been said already, this will be much more than a building. This will be a new place, a place celebrating the 90-plus year history and accomplishments of Crispus Attucks, the organization. A place telling the history of the African American and Latinx community in York City, telling their stories the way they need to be told. And this new place will be a forward-thinking culture center, bringing people together to talk, to listen, to learn, to work together and succeed together in unity. There will be a rooftop deck to view the city of York and reflect. There will be an outdoor courtyard for gatherings, for performances. There will be an indoor event space accommodating 120 plus people for presentations, programs. There will be a cafe to meet and just hang out. A library, a classroom, a community art and exhibit gallery, 3 floors of engaging, stimulating exhibits, graphic imagery, interactive technology. This will not be a museum. This new building, which has already been noted, I believe will be the first mass timber structure in central Pennsylvania. It will be the place to come together, to meet and visit in York City. It's been an honor, a privilege, and a very important responsibility to be your architect for this transformative community project. Thank you.
Oh, Frank, I think, there's one thing that we're missing.
We have a problem.
Yeah, we have a little problem. We haven't put anything in the project here for an inspector. We need a chief inspector.
And we have a manpower shortage.
We have a manpower shortage. Boy, Bobby, come on up here, buddy. All right, Bobby, here we go. We got a hard hat for Bobby. It gets better. All right, it gets better. Okay.
No.
There's Bobby with a hammer.
Oh, I love it.
And he's the construction crew boss.
I love you, buddy.
I love you right now.
So you want to dance on me? Good morning. I'm Daniel Elby, Vice President of the CA Board and board member, probably close to 50 years. As Bobby mentioned, Bobby, Ray, and myself got together and decided there's some things that needed to be done to have CA move in the direction we wanted to move. And you can see we're moving in that direction today just by what's happening today. Bobby mentioned Ray. If it wasn't for Ray, I'm not sure if we all would be here today. So Ray, I know you're looking down upon us and telling us, job well done. And Ray, we will continue to do what we do. And I think I saw Bob Hollis somewhere in the audience, right there. Before Bobby decided to get involved
Bob Hollis kind of held all this together for us. So Bob, we appreciated everything you did, and it was good that you was able to pass the torch on to Bobby. Now, Bobby spoke in terms of how we got to where we are today. It's my job to talk about what's next. And actually, with those who spoke before I spoke, really talked about what's next. So I somewhat had to modify what I wanted to present. It's been mentioned that the business community played a major role in what's happening today. And on behalf of the board of directors, I'd like to thank all of the tremendous support we received from the business community, because we're just humble brothers had great dreams, but not necessarily the cash to achieve it. Without the support of the business community, this would not be happening today. So on behalf of the board, I'd like to thank all of the business community. Now, we're planning on, actually after this meeting, to continue moving forward. So probably within the next year, hopefully the building will be up, be completed, and we'll be able to follow through on a lot of things that we're talking about today. Now, the building will showcase the Crispus Attucks Center, the struggles and the triumphs that has occurred since the agency was opened in 1931. And so there's a lot that will be on display to talk about those things that have occurred over the year. And Delma is a friend of mine, and we're very, very happy that we are including the Latino community with it. Now, for those who don't know this young lady, she's full of energy and full of a lot of good ideas. So Delma, we welcome your participation with us at the CA. Now, the grand opening is being planned for March of 2025. And that would be really a glorious day for all of us here at CA. Now, we will keep people up to date through emails, Facebook, and other social media posts. So this is very exciting times here at CA. We definitely appreciate all of the people who come out to be a part of this. We cannot wait for the opening of the building, and hopefully you all will return to see the results of everyone's hard work. Thank you for coming, and I wasn't born here in York, but my heart bleeds CA.
I got it. CA all day. Thank you for starting that for us. Thank you to everyone who took time out of your day to come and share this groundbreaking ceremony with us. As you can tell, the new History and Culture Center is something we've been working on for some years, and today is a big milestone towards our grand opening in March of 2025. This is the end of our program, and we will move on to our groundbreaking. But before we do that, this is an important occasion. So we're going to call in a really special construction crew to be here. We called them in today. So let's give a big CA welcome to our next generation of game changers. Our construction crew from the Crispus Attucks Charter School, we have Thomas Brown and his team from the Early Learning Center. We have Riley, Gammy, Chloe, Presley, Scarlett, Skylar, Naomi, Malachi, and Rylan. This is that special group. And our future game changers. If the rest of the groundbreaking crew will come up, we can get the whole team assembled. Again, we are molded by history, changing our future. Thank you all for being here today. Yes, we're going to be doing our groundbreaking over here on the side.
Come on.